Hello, my name is Jordan Moore, and today my topic is thoroughbred sales right in our backyard. So I wanted to cover this topic and thought it would be relevant and interesting because the University of Kentucky is located here in Lexington, which is known as the horse capital of the world. And even if you don't know much about horses, you've probably been to a day at the races at Keeneland here in Lexington. So while everyone is familiar with the horse racing side of Keeneland, what most of the general public are unaware of is that sales are held at Keeneland every year as well. So every year in September, November, and January, Keeneland hosts a sale. So Keeneland is actually the largest thoroughbred auction house, not only in the United States, but the world. So for every sale, buyers come from almost all 50 states and nearly 50 different countries to buy these thoroughbred horses. So on top of this sale venue being right in our backyard at Keeneland here in Lexington, another aspect I thought would be interesting to share is just the amount that these thoroughbred horses sell for, with many of them selling for $1 million or more. Another thoroughbred sale auction house here in Lexington is Fasig-Tipton, and they are also a prominent place to buy the best thoroughbred horses. They range from 4 to 6 sales throughout the year. So what my presentation is going to cover is bloodstock agents whose job is to study and analyze these thoroughbred horses' pedigrees to buy for these potential buyers at these sales. So when thoroughbred sales are strong, the bloodstock agent demand is also going to be strong. What I wanted to research for my presentation was how the thoroughbred sale industry was trending in the past few years here in Lexington at Keeneland and Fasig-Tipton. And I was going to look to see if it was growing or declining in the past few years. This was going to give me a better idea to see if bloodstock agents were going to be in higher or lower demand for the future if the trend remains relatively the same. So this is the chart that I have included for Keeneland for thoroughbred sales. So as you can see, it's been mostly consistent the last 7 years with an increase in gross amount most years. The number of horses sold varied a little with a few years where the total would be in the 6,000 range, and then a few years where the total horses sold were in the 5,000 range. But you can see that the highest number of horses sold was in 2010 with 6,969 horses sold, but the highest gross amount was in 2017 at around 530 million. So I have also included the sales statistics for the years 2000 and 2005 to look further back at trends. And although sales, gross amount, and number of horses sold were at an all-time high during the early 2000s, by 2005 they had dropped to almost half of what it had been in 2000. Since 2005, the sales, gross amount, and total horses sold have gradually been increasing, and hopefully with the trend continuing in the years to come. This is the chart for the Fasig-Tipton thoroughbred sales. Fasig-Tipton was slightly harder to calculate trends just because they have 4 to 6 sales ranging each year instead of the 3 that Keeneland has. So as you can see, Fasig-Tipton had a very similar chart trend to Keeneland, with the lowest gross amount being in 2010 and then gradually increasing to the year 2017 where it was the highest. So there was actually almost 100 million more difference in the year 2017 in gross amount than in the year 2010. You can just see how much this has been growing since 2010 to 2017. So this also holds true for the horses sold, with a gradual increase in those as well. However, because of the different number of sales held at Fasig-Tipton, some of the horses sold and the gross amount would have to be accounted for the extra or fewer sale listed. So my research of Keeneland and Fasig-Tipton sales statistics in the past few years have shown that the thoroughbred sale industry is growing, and it has been consistently increasing since 2010. This bodes well for future opportunity of bloodstock agents, because the more an owner spends on a horse, the more likely they are to hire bloodstock agents for assistance and help in purchasing those thoroughbred horses. So based on my research, I expect the thoroughbred sales to stay consistent and to continue to grow, hopefully back to where they were in the early 2000s. Thank you for watching, and these are my sources. So I used Keeneland, Equibase, Fasig-Tipton, Blood Horse, and Thoroughbred Daily News.